I'm at the gang, guys. 13 I'm relaxed. I got TUMELO JPY, my mentor. What's good, mentor? You know they always say, let me give you a mic. Guys, so I'm a mic more. I wanna tell my people something. More begin. I wanna tell my people something real quick. You know, and today they wanna learn something. Nazo, ngithi wena uthi we mentor man. So yeah. So you know at school, ne, we have teachers, ne? They teach you how to be a doctor. Are they doctors?
No.
So who's big between me and you? I carry on my mentor, Vanaga, so when I know.
Bona. Yeah. It's not the manufacturer that makes money, it's the product.
Yeah.
So
the product.
Yeah, the product.
Making money makes sense. You understand, eh? It's not all about the manufacturer, it's all about the product.
People don't care about how the product is made. Yeah. They only care about the end result.
And when they see the result, do they see the mentor?
No, I don't.
But now they see the mentor.
And now
Tell
I'm here
those
now.
people, how good are you?
Super good, man.
Yeah. How do you trade?
I trade algo, supply and demand, CRT, everything together combined.
Like I said, guys, in the previous video, that one thing about TUMELO JPY, knows everything that I know, but what he knows, I don't know.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that?
Dude, I acquire information, a lot of information also. So.
But who's the best trader between me and you?
Yourself and I.
Yeah.
At the moment.
At the moment. You're on your prime.
I'm cooking something, dog.
Yeah.
I've seen you grow. I've seen you become the greatest version of yourself, and I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to do beat what I'm coming with.
I cannot say you should put me on. That one is safe.
No, you have to watch. I cannot watch.
But you know, if I can wake up and say I'm gonna fight, I will fight.
You can't fight the losing battle.
Can't fight. I'm coming. Gold print. It's on the way. I'm cooking something.
No problem.
Guys,
we shall see.
Me and TUMELO JPY versus each other in the next coming prime. Hey, but he is going to win. He's gonna win.
There's no way you can beat me, but I'm ahead of the game. You know what was the thing with you? You got to actually understand the game way before me. I thought it was about a strategy. You knew more than what I know. Yeah, so you were 10 steps ahead. I had the information.
I took that information and
you implemented the information.
Yeah.
So Manji, it's time for me to implement the information. After like 4 years.
So you're gonna keep the information?
I'm keeping everything.
But you're always telling me everything.
No, you only know partials. You only know partials.
I know how to trade SMC because of you. ICT.
I'm not an ICT fan.
Okay, now you're coming with a new strategy. Give me 3 months, I'll be knowing it.
Okay.
And me, I'm going to make a lot of.
Now I'll show you results.
So guys, this is TUMELO JPY, guys. One of the guys I started with, guys. In those high times when I met him, he was a chess boy. I was a poor boy. I used to eat at his apartment, just like it was those broke days. Understand? So yeah, that's how we met. But we don't have pictures before. Imagine, because the pictures we had, we took at the same place. But you took an individual picture, I took an individual picture.
You don't have a picture together.
So you don't have a proof that you knew me.
Messi and Ronaldo don't have a picture together.
Yeah, I'm Ronaldo though.
I'm Messi. I'm the greatest of all time.
By people's choice.
No, it's talent, boy. When you work hard to be like this? I don't work hard. I'm like this. I was born for this shit, my boy.
Yeah, no, I can't.
Hence why the information and everything. But you'll see when time goes on.
But people are pulling in, you see.
We have numbers coming in, man. I think people are getting lost, actually. I think people are getting lost. And what's your take on the new movement? Trade245, smart trade, and everything. Are you?
You know, one thing that I've realized is, as a player, you need to define how big you are. You understand? So yeah. Grandpa. So you need to actually define how big you are. Do you think Cristiano Ronaldo can play for Kaizer Chiefs?
Cristiano? No, he can't.
So you see, that's how big Trade245 is.
So what you're telling me is you've made the right investment actually.
Yeah, I can't play with the small
With
teams.
the small teams. Okay.
They are looking to make money. Here we are playing with a team that has money.
Yes.
You understand? So it's all about the movement, guys. You know, always I say trade with the best to be the best.
Yeah, as I was saying also, it's also a pleasure to share a stage with you after so many years. You've never you've never worked together actually. So this is our first time working together. This is our first time doing everything together.
Yeah.
So we shall take over. We shall keep these guys. Fundamentals, geopolitical events, the impact of.
I remember last time you did that, man. KARABO. Last time you did fundamentals. You good? You sure?
To become profitable if you don't have a trading skill. So you need all the components to formulate something that can help you profit within the financial market. One other thing that I want you guys to understand is this. People normally say that 90% of the traders lose 90% of their capital in the first 90 days. And that's actually a fact because of when I check the stats, they say that 97% of the traders around the entire world, they are not profitable. And guys, profitability I think now is a choice. You choose whether you want to be profitable or not. Some of you guys, I know that most of you guys here, you have this thing of, you still believe that the strategy is the one that's gonna make you profitable. You've moved from Ninja, you came to me, you went to CS, you went to this, you went to that. You think that it's us who's gonna make you profitable. It's the mindset. Trading is 90% psychology and only 10% technical. But one thing that I know that is a fact is most of you guys invest 90% of your time learning the trading strategy and only 10% learning the psychological part. Hence why the stats are still 97% of us not profiting and only 3% profiting. Professional traders, guys, they don't dwell too much on their strategy. Understand yourself. You need to take time and understand yourself so that you can be able to experience what trading really is. One of the components that plays a major role on a trader's life is also a trading broker. You need to take that into consideration because of most of you guys invest your capital in the wrong platform. For you to grow as an individual, you need to trade with a broker that can also allow you to move from point A to point B. Not you trade with a broker when it's time for you to make a specific amount of capital, they start giving you unnecessary things. So one thing that I want you guys to start doing now is to invest your time in building yourself. Need the strategy, man. The strategy works. Go on YouTube and work on also your strategy. Don't tell us that you took SMC, combined it with this and that. Guys, trading is simple, but it's not easy. So let's build those systems. Build those systems, work around yourself, and then you shall make profits at the end of the day. So yeah, I think I'm done with my part. And
That's how boy you TUMELO.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. It was very, it was really, really thoughtful of you to come with us, man. Enjoyed me very well. Thanks, man. We're gonna move on to technical analysis now. Like you said, we wasn't really focused on the strategies and whatever because we get overwhelmed with this. Now you jump every single 3 months on a new thing. Support, then you go to SD, then you go to this and this. So some of us can come in to teach you what they trade and how they trade it, so they can help you. You must now start to speak and say, I think this is better for me. I'm not going to use this and this and this, you understand? So now I'm going to call up again, hello? People, are you Ingrid? Is it me or is it, Oh, okay. Because the way that man looked at me is like, me bro, I don't know if there's something behind me or, man. So we're gonna call up now, so boy, as you all know me, as your mentor,
I'm trouble, yeah.
Nasdaq Ninja, please. Yes, H1, please. Now, one thing about this guy, I have a big problem with him because I don't know how to say the thing of him. It's like I watch his video, but I don't know how to say it. So, remember last time you promised me
5K.
5,000, eh?
Yeah.
If I say it right. Okay, wait. He's gonna give me 5K if I say the thing right. Okay, guys. Okay, guys. As you all know me, as a boy, I think I'm already wrong.
No, already, you're wrong. You did wrong.
Sorry, my boss. Okay, the floor is yours.
Next time. Okay, guys. As you all know me, as a mentor, Nasdaq Ninja. So, guys, today I'm gonna be talking about technical analysis, but I won't spend more time, guys. If you want to check how I actually trade, most of the time you can check it on YouTube. You know, guys, YouTube is for free, and then YouTube will pay us at the end of the day if you guys check those videos. So you can do that. So yeah, one of the most things that I like trading into the market is zones. I like trading what I call zones. You know, in the market there is no a secret that you will find. You know, obviously you guys want us to teach you something like 2-minute strategy. You know, in the past we were taught 1-minute strategy, only to find out there's no thing called 1-minute strategy over time. Understand? So in the market, the most important time it's your hard work. You know, the work that you put in is the one that is going to give you the results at the end of the day. You know, and you know the real reason they call a memory card a memory card is because it's like a memory, it keeps the information inside it. You know, but remember we have 1 gigabyte, 1 terabyte. You know, all of us, we don't know how our brain information can it actually put in. You understand? But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is the more information you put into your brain, the more confused you're gonna be. So it's always important for you to keep less information in order for you to not get confused by a lot of information. You know, basically when I started trading, I learned technical analysis. Over time I learned indicators, which was A45 strategy, whatever, Bollinger Bands. Over time, you know, I kept on adding strategies only to find the first strategy that I had was the most perfect one. So I realized that the more information you have, the more confused you become. So it's always important for you to study one information. Like TUMELO JPY said, the problem is not the strategy, the problem is yourself. So it's always important for you to, you know, don't always change the strategy because you took one loss. At least take 100 losses, then you can change the strategy. You know, you find you are blaming the strategy. You know, as us, most of us, we like blaming a certain thing. You know, if you take a loss, you're gonna blame my signals, but you know, on that same signal, I made capital. You didn't make capital because you wanted to make. Let me give you guys a perfect example. Let's say you wanted to make 5K. I wanted to make 1K. I made 1K and I closed. Then you're still holding because you want to make 5K. When you blow, I'm going to become the blame. That your signal was wrong and whatever. But you forgot what was your target. You know, you're not gonna put in mind that I was aiming for a higher target. But remember, once you open a trade into the market, you are already on the risk. So yeah, I'm gonna talk about support and resistance zones. You know, most of the people like saying support and resistance doesn't work. For me, I always say, please draw the support and resistance for me so I can see if it doesn't work, because I always find the problem of how people really draw it and how people really explain it. You understand? So, and how people, once it touches the support, they want to enter. Once it touches the resistance, they want to enter as well. But me, it's one of the perfect, I can say, strategy that I've been using over years, and it's working for me, you know. So, when you identify, obviously you're going to get your horizontal lines where price repeat reacting. So I always say where the biggest movement have happened, the market can touch again and create a bigger movement again. So that's when I start calling it zones, and I only create zones on a weekly time frame, daily, and H4. You know, furthermore, pushing to the bottom side, I just call it support and resistance because I know it might touches and pass a bit. So I won't enter with the mindset that I have when I enter on H4 and a daily time frame and a weekly time frame. So doesn't mean that if you are entering on a weekly time frame, it means you're a swing trader. The only thing that will define that is when you hold that trade for too long for us to call you a swing trader. You can scalp though you enter on a daily time frame. Understand? So what defines you as a scalper is when you enter and exit maybe within that 5 minutes that you're looking for. You understand? So you're gonna be a scalper though. But you can enter with the 5 minutes time frame and hold for a week. Automatically you became a swing trader. So the time frame doesn't define what type of trader you are. Understand? So support and resistance, obviously some of you guys can already know. When we come to support, on support I can definitely say it's like a floor, and then when it comes to resistance we can say it's a ceiling. So if I were to be holding a rubber ball and I throw it inside here, you'll see it going up and down. So that's your support and resistance. So the market, when it consolidates, it always goes up and down, you know. I don't like trading consolidation, but when you're learning the market, you can always consider yourself understanding consolidation first before you can understand the movement, price, and direction. Because with consolidation, it's just an A, B, C, D. You understand? It goes up, down, up, down, up, down. A lot of traders, yes, lose a lot of capital when the market consolidate. But at the end of the day, if you want to learn, you know, they created demo account for a reason. You know, I don't know why most of us will like learning on a real account. Well, there's a demo account. You can just go there, put whatever amount you want, but always I say you need to be realistic. You can't put 1 million if you can't fund 1 million. You know, you just have to put the amount that you can actually fund. Let's say you're gonna be funding 1,000 next week. This week it's your most important time for you to do it. Fund 1,000 Monday. If you lose, don't immediately fund 1,000 again, because you know very well if you're gonna lose your last 1,000, you're not gonna be able to fund immediately. You need to go and check what is the mistake that you have done, what is it that went wrong, why didn't your strategy respect, and then the other day fund 1,000 again on a demo account. If you lose again, you need to check what went wrong. Your day, your task, your homework is to just check what went wrong. The following day, now you're fixing your mistake. There will be days whereby maybe you can win 3 times, lose 2 times. So the ratio has to be more. If the ratio becomes more, it means you have higher chances of you, when you fund that last K, you can make a capital. So rule 1, broken support becomes resistant and vice versa. So it's always important for us to understand that with support and resistance, I think the name, you can just say it becomes temporary until a certain thing happens. If we have a resistance, it gets broken, then that becomes your support. But like I said, it depends on which time frame you're really using it. You know, you can't create a support on 1 minute time frame and think it's going to be the strongest. Understand? So I like creating zones on higher time frames, because I know they once created a movement, and when the market touches again, they'll create again another movement. Let's jump into another point. So we have supply and demand. So when it comes to supply and demand, most of us, we like defining supply and demands and support and resistance as the same thing, and they are 2 different things. You know, for me, with my definition, I always say support and resistance is where the market actually reverses, but supply and demand is where the market makes the big movement. So the market can reverse because of resistance, but when it touches your supply, it makes the biggest movement. So it's always important for us to understand that supply is more respected than resistance, because resistance, the market can reverse but take a lot of days for it to move to a certain direction. But if it's on a supply, that's when it will make the biggest movement. That is why others, they compare them. I don't compare them. I make them work together. You understand? So supply, areas of selling pressure, demand are areas of buying interest. You understand? So that is why I say that's where you get a lot of, let's say if it touches our demand, the buy that you're gonna get there, it will be incredible. You understand? So let's jump into another chapter. We have our trend lines. Others, they don't use trend lines, but I definitely have discovered that every strategy has a trend, you know. So the problem is the lines. I think that is the problem, because once I start drawing the lines, then I'll be defined as a trend line trader. But you know, we have SMC, they use a trend where they have BOS and what is this, change of character. So as we have high lows and lower lows, I think those are the same thing. The problem is as we create a trend line there. So the once you start creating a trend line, then they say trend lines don't work, but we are all using the same thing. The only thing that is different there is just the names. And obviously, if I want to do the best marketing, if I can just create a strategy as a ninja way strategy, even though I'm still drawing a trend line, I'm no longer calling that trend line as a trend line. I'll be like diagonal support and diagonal resistance. I'm gonna make more money than me calling it pure price section, because someone already sold pure price section 10 years back and he made billions or millions. So I think that is the way new strategies come, because people create strategies to just monetize, you understand? But it's still the same thing, you understand? So let me jump into another. So here I'm going to talk about the market structure. So when we talk about the market structure, it's very important for us to understand that when you build a house, you can never build a house from a roof. You always have to start from foundation. You can't start building a house with a roof. So when you get to the market, when you analyze, you can't just get into the market and enter a trade. Basically, there's basics that you need to start in order for you to get a perfect entry point. You understand? So that is why we say it's a market structure. So with the market structure is, I like putting it in the easiest way and say ABCD strategy. Let me quickly show you this. So when I say the ABCD strategy, it's like if you are at a certain point and you understand that the market have already created this phase, what is it that the market will create next? I think the only thing that we have that is a problem as us traders is not knowing what the market will create next. And once we don't know that, then it be, because I really understood how to trade technical, how to enter and whatever, but I always blew an account and I always ask myself what went wrong, what is it that I wasn't doing correct. At the end, I started understanding that the only problem is I don't understand the structure of the market. So when I talk about a structure, like I said, you can never start building a house from the roof. Obviously, you need to start from the foundation. So I'm just going to do this. So in the market, we have what we call, I like calling it ABCD. So I just say ABCD strategy. So if the market moves from this point and then it goes to the top side, it's obvious case that if you get it on the resistance, we're going to have something that we call sells. The market will sell from this point and come to the bottom side. If you find the market at this certain point, where will the market go? It will go up. Yes, with the explanation, it's easy to say that, but for you to get the entry point there, it's going to be difficult. So, and then the next thing, it goes to the top side. After, when it's at the top, it will do what? Go to the bottom side. So this is the structure of the market. It's actually you understanding what will the market do in the other side. Understand what's coming next. So the other thing that I like talking about is AMD strategy, which is accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So if the market is at a certain place whereby it plays around here, it creates a consolidation, the next thing that will follow, we know very well that will be manipulation. So let's say you find the market already manipulated. What is it that is going to happen? Obviously, let's say you have your A and then you have your B here. Then what's left is C. So when you find your market like this, you know definitely that what it has to happen next is your distribution. So now you start looking forward for buying opportunities. I always say there's always reverses on a zone. Like I said, this is the most thing that I use. There is no way it won't reverse on a zone. If you can just go to a time frame and go furthermore to a weekly, monthly, you're gonna find where the market have reversed and make a bigger movement. There was a zone in the past. You understand? I like the fact that they always say if you drew your support in 2007, when we get into your chart today, we have to see that support, because that support in the future will be respected, especially on currencies. If you can go there, you find something that happened in 2002, it's being respected today in 2025. So that's possible. So from here, we know that from here, that's when the market will do a shoot up. So if you say this is your A, you get into the market, you find A, you know already that B will happen. Then that's why maybe you look for a selling opportunity just to get a quick scalp. And then now you know that your C has to happen. That's why you get your buying opportunities. You understand? So now I'm going to jump into the last part, and then I'm going to give others a chance. So like I said, guys, if you want to learn more, you can just use my YouTube channel, and then I provide free learning things there. So yeah, let's jump into the other. So here I'm gonna just pass because think there's another one's topic. We're gonna go for, yeah, let's talk about our liquidity zone. So in most cases, when it comes to liquidity zones, is basically I've been trading support and resistance for too long, only to realize maybe this year that there's a lot of things that I've been doing incorrect. I always fought for that sniper entry. Yeah, some of them I got, but most of them I didn't catch. So I realized that no, sniper entries is the one that is incorrect. Is the one that really incorrect. We can't always fight for sniper entries. We need to fight for obviously, let's say you want to fight for a sniper entries. When the market touches a zone, you enter full margin, you have 90% chances of blowing. So it's always important for you to wait for a confirmation, then you enter your trade. So let me quickly go for my trading view here and then jump in. I just want to show you guys the zones here. So like I said, when I analyze, I always start from a highly time frame, so I can go for 1 week, and then from my weekly time frame, I'll get my zones. So let's say this is the first zone that I actually choose. So if I can check, when did this zone become respected? It was respected in 2024, July. So this is 2025, May 19. So it became respected again in 2019. So obviously, when I keep on going furthermore to my time frames, to the lowest point, I'll get that entry point on a perfect trade. But if I get it on the highest time frame, I know it's going to create the highest movement. It's obvious. So if you can check, it was respected again in 2024 December. And then the most perfect thing is it respecting it today. And then we come again here, we create a zone again here. If you can check, this one was actually respected in 2024 December and became respected 26 May, which was last week. So why do I actually like zones? Is because when it comes to zones, it's more, if it touches a zone, I know it has a higher chances of me getting the trade right. So obviously I said I'm going to speak about sniper entries. Definitely, if here you're looking for a sniper entry, you could have caught your perfect sniper entry on the third attempt. But what about the second attempt? On the second attempt, it could have taken you out. But if you could have waited for the market to take people out, which called fake out liquidity, fake breakouts, you could have got the most perfect entry when it comes back to the top. So it's very important for you sometimes to just let the market touches, and then when it comes back, that's where you get your entry point. But on the third attempt, that's you there catching your perfect entry because it just tapped, you hit your sniper entry, the next thing you just relax. But on the fourth attempt, the market did what? It took people out again. So obviously this could be your loss if you just wanted to enter immediately, and this could be your loss again. So it's very important for you, once it touches, you jump in and then you let the market move. So this is your zones. These are your zones again. So when you get there, you're just looking for places whereby the market once created the highest movement, and then you execute your trade. That's it. So you can only trade using zone. I'm confidently saying that you can trade without even creating a lot of things. Just you creating zones, you can actually get perfect trades, and you need to respect them. If the zones, the market moves zones to zone. If it moves from this zone and then it goes to another zone, it's going to just be a zone to zone. If you can check, whatever that I'm creating here is the zone. The market once created a bigger movement here, and then it became again here, created the biggest movement. And the way it's so smart in the future, you see, it started by taking people out. It's smart. That's liquidity. So it's always important for you to wait for it to do that, and then once it takes people out, you jump in. So I always say whatever that happened in the past will happen in the future, bigger and better. So if the movement here moved, let me quickly check. You see here it moved and then reversed here. When it comes back in the future, it will be way better than that, but they won't just touch and move. They might take you out. So guys, I think I'll end here, guys. If you want to see more videos me teaching, you can actually subscribe to my YouTube channel, Nasdaq Ninja. I teach from a beginner to advanced
you. Number 4, stick to your own price. So, we trade different things, yeah? So that people trading currencies, indices, stocks, and stuff like that. So stick to what works for you. You understand? If currencies work for you, then stick to currencies. If indices work for you, then stick to indices. So stick to your own price. Number 5, plan your trade. So understand when to trade and when not to trade. You don't just go into the market and decide to trade. You understand? So you need to plan your trades. Plan your trade and trade your plan. So here, I'm just going to show you a trading plan of how you can grow your trading account and your bank account at the same time. So it's just a simple thing, and it's very effective if you understand it, and if you stick to it, then you eventually going to see the results. You understand? So here we have a table, as you can see on my left side. On my left side, we have a trading account, and on my right side, we have a bank account. So let's say you have your last 2,000 Rand and you've been learning how to trade, and you finally got it right. And now it's time to do it the real thing. Eh? So this is how it's gonna go like. If you
Because I don't understand, if you hold your phone like this, you must do like this. I don't understand what it's for. But it's coming to teach us why it does it. Please let's welcome all of us. AMO, Mataba. Mataba. What is problem?
Hi guys. And then number 2, we're gonna check the what? Our point of interest, right? Point of interest is we also checking the what? The entry point, right? Where we're gonna take our trades. So, okay, so looking at our point of interest or entry point, we're gonna be looking for our order block. We're gonna be checking as well fair value, gap, or imbalance, right? And then on number 3, we're gonna check for what? For liquidity. We must always take out liquidity before we move, right? And then on number 4, we're gonna check for confirmation, right? For entry, we usually use 15 minutes, 5 minutes, and then 1 minute as well, right? And then for liquidity, we have liquidity, sweep, and liquidity grind. Right, so you can take a picture or take down the notes. Okay, so now I'm gonna be analyzing USDT for you, and then using these steps to get an int, right? So first thing first, we're gonna check the what? The directional bias, right? So for example, we can focus here. We can mark out this point
as our high, right? Can mark out this point as our high. And then let's say, for example, this was our low. This was our low, right? And then also, this is the liquidity, guys, right? Here. It's a liquidity. Always when you see the double bottoms and double tops, just know it's a liquidity, right? It's people trying to buy here. Can you see? Here it's a buy. Also here it's a buy. So what the market does, the market always chases liquidity to balance the price. Are we clear? So you can see these people who bought here, right? They made this new high, right? Then there's other ones who bought here, the double bottom. And then always when the market comes to the liquidity, like it comes with the momentum, if you can check it, right? You can see here we cleared this momentum, right? And then here, this sell, you know, when was it? It was during Trump and Ramaphosa meeting, right? Here, you know, always Trump's, always when he speaks, the market always like either crashes or it buys, right? Because of the impact that he has. So we took out this liquidity, right? This one, right? And then here we had a what? We had a slight consolidation. Even here, it's a consolidation, right? And then always remember, after taking out liquidity or breaking a certain zone, we're always gonna have a what? We're always gonna have a pullback, right? Then let's say we move to 15 minutes. Can you see as well here, right? This part here, it's also liquidity, right? Even here, it's retail traders. This one is what? Institutional. It's the market makers moving the markets, right? But always when they move the markets, what do? They don't want you to move with them. Instead, they take you out first, then they do what? They move alone, right? And then how do they take you out first? It's this one. It's the easiest one you can get, but you must always train your eyes to see it. Nasdaq Ninja spoke about it. It's this one. Right? It's what? So these are part of the entry models, right? These are part of the entry models. It was this one, guys, right? If you can check here, I'm gonna go to 5 minutes, right? So what you have to do is to train your eyes to see these types of entry models. Can you see it, guys? Ne? So is the gray box is accumulation. Can you see? Can you see here? Accumulation. This was before the news, right? The price is accumulating orders, right? And then mind you, to see where the market is going, what do you check? To catch it here, it took me out here. Floated 2 minutes, then it took me out. Then I caught it here. This was a real sniper here. I caught it here. Here it was floating around 52, I think, from 3,000 rand. I think it was 12 positions. And I was driving that time, eh? It was a hectic one, it was a hectic trade. And mind you, it was towards the market close here, it was around 9:10. Yeah, it was floating here around here. I caught it here, sniper, 12 positions. Then I exited around here because of this. You see, double bottom. Double bottom meaning there was people trying to what? To catch the buy entries. Then there was consolidation here, right? It was midnight here. Consolidation. Mind you, this was my entry. Thursday. Then consolidation, right? And remember, I said what the market always chases what? Liquidity, right? The market always chases liquidity. It's your liquidity here. Then let's say we go into what? 15 minutes again, right? Minutes. This was my entry. Then these entries, you see these entries here. It's the what you call this? It's the Fibonacci retracement, right? So you might find out that it's 50%, but I think yeah, it was 50% here. Yeah, it was around 50%, right? Okay, so here it tries to respect, but if you can check maybe on brokers, there's just a little bit of what? Just a spike up to take you out, then it dropped here. This was on a Friday. The day Trump announced the tariffs on European Union or European countries, right? So, meaning if I could have hold from here to here, I think 01 was floating around maybe 30 or 20 something thousand, 0.01 on this date. I think it was around 800 points here. So you say 1,800 times 8, it's gonna give you how much 01 was floating, right? But the real entry was here. People code it here. But if you check the market, you know what you're doing. You catch it here, then but you must have patience to hold here. Almost maybe 15 hours, 10 hours to 15 hours holding here. Just have patience and then you pray. It's not gonna go up. Hey, guys, it's not easy to hold. It's not easy to hold. So, me, I exited here. Imagine here it was floating 50,000 here, 52,000. So imagine if I could have caught this movement. And then with Trump, the market moves somehow, also the spreads. You see, this is a small movement here. The small movement, 50,000 rand here alone. So imagine here, this move as well. We're looking at around 200 and something thousand from 3,000. And then, but you see, there's liquidity, right? There's liquidity, then we had a nice drop here. Then I think, yeah, we had a nice drop there. And then you got a zone from daily here. So this is what makes the market to 10. Can you see? Can you see that? So remember, the market has been trying to recover, right? But all you can do maybe just hit these small movements, but also you have to look at a bigger picture. You can catch the sells, but you see the daily, we're doing what? We're pushing up, right? And then here, if you can check this blue candlestick here, it's what? It's institutional, right? And then came here, got this red candlestick, which there were people trying to sell, but it ended up going up, meaning there's more buyers here, right? It's institutional area, funded area. You can see it came here the same Friday when it was dropping. It came here, tapped on the order block, then it started pushing up, right? Okay, so you can see this. It's our funded area, and then can go to H4. Then on H4, I think we had a gap. Monday morning, the previous Monday, I think it was the 26th or 25th. This is a gap here, right? Because this area was strong, this area with buys, right? So on Monday, it had like a gap, another strong what? Buyers, and then here, remember, we live in.
But it's not to make money. We're supposed to give you guys a few stuff, man, before you came in, man, eh? Just to have a little bit of a break, we can have like a 2-minute break quickly, eh? Just to break quickly, man, you understand? If I can just get all the IBs, man, eh? Just to come and serve our people, please, man. Then we're just gonna give them some goodies here. I'm gonna give my brother here first. Me here from that side. Huh? I'm gonna give you first, but I did, man. Don't let anyone sell stuff. It's family stuff. You understand? So if we can just help, man. How's it?
So if like we have a 2,000, so if like you have like 2,000 and like it's CPI, almost 0.01 can work your 2,000 before your stop loss. So I think this guy is correct.
Awesome, awesome. So Karabo, so you're saying he's correct. What is your name, boss? Which one is it?
I'm willing to lose maybe 3,000 or 2,000. But then now it depends like your ratio into trading. How much are you willing to make? Some of them they prefer 1:2. Like you fund 10,000, you make 10,000, or maybe 5,000. It depends how much you want to make and the risk that you're taking. So the more you gain a confidence into trading, you will understand trading is not all about you funding money and saying I want to make 100,000. But then understanding how are you going to make 100,000, that's what you should follow. Because you can't just find 1,000, you want to make 100,000, that's impossible. Because the market disappointed them once. But the solution is to keep being like consistent into one thing. If I say, okay, yeah, I was looking for something that I was gonna show you, but I'm just gonna explain here. So only seeking information that supports your trade idea. So it's like when you trade, I can say you're on the maybe supply, or maybe you just wanna come up with the resistance on your own. So it means like you are giving yourself a resistance from the market, whereby it's not really a resistance. So it's like trying to sell a market on a bullish market. So it's like you are confirming for yourself that this is gonna sell, but then you are not sure if this is gonna sell because you're just thinking maybe it might sell. So I feel like a lot of people are just trading, they don't understand like why this thing is selling or maybe why it's buying. So you're gonna have to research why this thing is buying, why this thing is selling. Because some of the market, it can just pass from the support and resistance because maybe there is news that are running in the background. But then because we don't check the news, we're gonna miss like something like this. You get it? So at the end, so some of people I know they trade supply and demands, and we know they all act as if like it's support and resistance, and they are not the same actually. So some they prefer to sell on the supply, some they prefer to sell on the resistance. But then I only sell on the resistance. I don't rely on the supply and demand. I don't understand them. I do understand them, but then I can't be able to trade them. So I only trade what I know, and I make sure that I check this is like a legit resistance. I'm not just gonna sell because I think it's a sell. Don't think it's a sell. You must see if it's a sell. So that's why you're gonna be able like to confirm the biases when it comes to trading. So I think this is the last part into psychology. If one asks anything, you can ask before I leave here. Okay, thank you so much.
We're gonna jump straight into something else again.